part 3 of exploring the gigantic Celadon city. And really, this place is so huge. Yeah, it takes me 3 videos just to look around the place. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know where I will end this, but seriously, this is gigantic. But I suppose this is to be expected since Celadon and Saffron both correspond to the real-life location of Tokyo. And speaking of real-life Japan geography, well, Cerebees unveiled the new Poké-Art section last week, and there's a map of all the regions in every Pokemon game ever. But one thing is that I am thinking that maybe people will start taking the positions of each continent relative to each other. They're gonna take it for granted, but that is probably not the case. That's just some random montage of where each region fits on the map or something like that, but I don't think that's really the location of each region compared to each other. Now it's obvious that no one has ever gone in depth to explain it in terms of canon, but I don't know, I was under the impression maybe there's evidence that agrees with me, maybe not, but I was under the impression that Sinnoh was further north compared to the other regions. Now, while I was talking about that, I got a PP up from one of those weird passages around town. I knew there was something hidden there, but I didn't remember exactly where it was or how many items there were, but at least I found a PP up, which is good. I'm going to hold on to it for now, as I haven't planned out a use for it yet. And here that guy here has lost everything at the slots, which I suppose, after all, the pseudo-promotion of gambling, as some might look at it with the presence of gamblers in the game, well, here they go flat out and say gambling is bad, okay? And you know what's fun? They go to all this length to censor references to gambling, and yet they keep including casinos in every generation. There is no major Pokemon game that hasn't had a casino, and that despite all the attempts at censorship they did lately since Fire Red and Leaf Green. But on to another subject. I was talking at the end of the last video about this huge void in the western part of Celadon, and really, I don't know why they put that there. Did they run out of NPC quotes or something? But yeah, this doesn't happen in the newer generations, and that despite the fact that cities are getting bigger and bigger. In the first 2 generations, cities usually only take 1 spot on the map, but in Hoenn and Sinnoh, well, they get much bigger. You've even got L-shaped cities and all that kind of stuff, and they even have themes nowadays. In Sinnoh, you got a mining town, a farming town, a town powered by solar energy. Each town is getting more and more unique as we progress in the series. So yeah, it's just another reason why, well, nostalgia is good and all, but the newer games have more and more quality as we progress in the series. So those people who say that they're running out of ideas, nah, they're exploiting themes that we hadn't seen prior to that point in the series, and I'm expecting a lot of other new things that they haven't explored in the next few generations, if there are any, which is another debate for another time. Of course, I think there are going to be other generations because Pokemon is just such a huge cash cow, especially in Japan. Speaking of Japan, it's time for another news flash. This time it's about Oak's Letter, which is going to be distributed as an event item over Wi-Fi, so it's in Japan only, and once again it's Platinum only. Yet another way to taunt us people with Diamond and Pearl who don't intend on getting Platinum with a really rare Pokemon. Now, as I said, it's all fair game since they can use every means at their disposal to try and drive up platinum sales. But yeah, Darkrai and Shaymin, both of them, well, getting platinum is starting to be getting attractive if, of course, those events are replicated in North America. That's on top of the Rotom forms, by the way. And now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna take a really quick dip into Saffron. I'm going to use the opportunity to actually give the water to the guards, and I'm going to get the Psychic TM because when I catch a Ghastly, I want to be able to give it to him right away. So yeah, it's gonna have Psychic and Thunderbolt for offense, which is pretty good for in-game purposes. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the Psychic TM, and then after that I am going to go into the game corner. But as I was saying, well, all those events are getting pretty nice for those who get platinum, but there's one thing about the Shaymin you can get from the Oaks Letter event, and that's that it cannot activate Glacedia's flower because, well, it hasn't been obtained at an actual physical event. So yeah, no Sky Shaymin for you, unless of course you already have a Shaymin from an event that can activate Glacedia's flower, and yeah, you can use that flower to turn the other Shaymin you get via Oaks Letter into a Skyform Shaymin. So if you don't have the flower, well, I'm sorry, but Air Slash is gonna be off limits unless, of course, you know someone who has the flower, and the odds of that may not be that high since it's actually pretty rare. But if you know someone reliable who's got the flower, then you can ask him, give it to Air Slash, then give it back to me. Of course, it's stuck in land form, but that's, yeah, the price to pay. Now I'm going to be taking a gander at the prizes I can obtain. Here it's more high-end, and it's the only way to obtain Porygon, which is actually really cheap because it's entirely worthless in this generation. It's only when it can evolve that it starts getting good, but back in Red, Blue, and Yellow, getting 10,000 coins for this garbage, there was no point! Except, of course, for Pokédex completion, which is nice if you're a completionist like me. But yeah, this is one lousy casino, by the way. There are only slots, not any other game. At least some of the other game corners. Wait a minute. So he says he needs more coins for the Pokemon I want. Then why did you just give me some? Dipshit! This world is full of idiots! But, as I was saying, this is one lousy casino, just slots and absolutely nothing else, and those slots, I'm sorry, but it's absolutely impossible to gain a positive amount of coins over a long time from these. So yeah, you have to beat the Elite Four over and over and over again if you want to accumulate enough coins to buy the stuff you want. Unless you use an emulator's save states to cheat, which I have done before, and it seems that those slots function by sequences. There are times when you will be completely unable to win anything, or you get very small amounts, and yet other times you can get several 777s in a row, and you constantly put in coins and you win, and then that sequence ends, and then you start draining coins like mad, and you lose everything you've gained and then some, which, well, I don't know if there's any point to that instead of just pure randomness, but whatever. Now this lady here tells us machines may have different odds, which, well, I haven't ever noticed that. All I've ever noticed was those sequences I was talking about. But yeah, if those machines have different odds, I would love to know if anyone knows which ones have better odds, because I honestly have no clue. Now I'm going to head down to the basement to fight Team Rocket. Next time, finally some action!